Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam.
Are we looking though at deficits? Again, my concern just when my own going over the budget is we have a volatile future. I think we're kind of on the edge when it comes to money coming in, money coming out. And how do we look at reduction, and we're going to look at reduction in staff. Is that something that's going to come up? I think it's important to talk about. I know there's some plans in place possibly. Because again, I looked at our Moody report too, and it talked about, again, funds, again, basically money coming in, money coming out. We're on a very thin margin.
Yeah, Moody's just did our dates, our debt service. Whenever we issue bonds, Moody's is our debt rating agency. Standard & Poor's is the other one in the area, in the country, I should say. So they maintained our AAA status, which was good. But of course, they do look at our fund balance, and they compare us to the whole country because they rate bonds from municipalities across the country. And New Jersey has very conservative rules, so we're not allowed to maintain the fund balances at other states. So, and of course, they look at our free fund balance. So if we tied up too big of a percentage in capital reserve, they would ding us for that. However, if the more free fund balance we live in this state, at least at times, governors have come in and taken some of that free fund balance. So it's a balancing act there. But yeah, you're right. It's important to, maintain, a balance there.
Can we just take a step back? Are we considering any staff cuts?
No, we are not considering any staff cuts. What we always do is try to maximize our resources. So we look at efficiencies. And the other thing too is we look at sometimes if there's a retirement, maybe repurposing a position that is more needed. And so that's kind of how we maintain and support our staff. But we also know our staff, with the referendum as it expands, we're going to need staff. So we want to just really maximize what we have.
Thank you.
And also just to say, we don't have we balance the budget. We were just presented with the balanced budget.
I just think we have contractual costs, inflation. Just from my understanding, the numbers I'm looking at, we can't go into a dissertation. No, we have a deficit looming possibly, and we might see a contraction. I just think that has to be said. That's what if I'm wrong, hopefully everything could work out, but I plan for the worst and hope for the best. I don't know what kind of governor we're going to get either. We get I don't want to get partisan. We get a Republican governor. He might have a different view about the budget too. All these things might be happening. It's happened before in Princeton schools. We have incredible financial resources though. And if I can say this team, I see it as like coaches implementing a new offense. And I like what they're doing from the infrastructure, from learning, elementary school, core classes, getting to grade level by 5th grade. All that's important. Our teachers are getting raises. But I'm just telling you, we got inflation. We have construction costs that might be going up. We have teacher raises deserved, but we have to pay them. So we're on an edge, and I feel. And I just have to say that publicly.
Thank you.
And last thing, though, just maybe as a Princetonian, even though we can't change the world, the economics are the way they are, we are kind of losing our middle class and low middle class. And it's just a reality. I understand that. But we have to, and I'm not asking for proclamations to change that. But besides schools, we have a community. And we're going to be losing, people I grew up with, who make the heart and soul of this town. Our Black community, the one I knew, is like disappearing. But I guess that's reality. I'm not change phobic.
Thank you.